My mom was being that extra.
Like the Yemeni halib ma'al moz. That was hilarious. I was like, wow, like literally you're in Yemen. The Mystic Gum.
I just want to let people know that if you're watching, just know that I'm posting on social sites, so give us about a minute or two, we will get the show started. But go ahead, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, basically everything was like legit.
Yeah,
like,
we tried to keep it really close to home.
I was like, wow, that's literally Yemen. Everything. Even the kohal. Like that was so cool.
You didn't even know. Like I went to these stores and I was just like, I was getting indulged in the Yemeni aisles and I was having so much fun with it.
Bro, the gimbidi.
The gimbidi.
I was cracking up.
And then we were like 25 cent a riyal. We were like 10 cent a riyal. So everybody's gonna know it's like 10 for $1 or whatever, like how it is in the Dukkans. So we were just like, yeah, let's keep it.
That was unique. I like unique. That was really unique.
You know what we were missing? The hard-boiled eggs in the...
Oh yeah, you guys didn't do that in the initials? You guys had the candles though. I saw the candles.
You know,
in the shidad.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Yemeni traditions here. He's looking at us like, what?
We need to invite you to a Yemeni wedding.
I'm down. Who's getting married next? I'm coming.
You can go 100%. I'm gonna invite you to my sister's wedding.
Say wallah.
Wallah.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's not mixed.
I know, so that's the whole point. We show the culture, the Yemeni culture.
Yeah, I have to contact. I gotta get you connected with my.
I can't do that though. I'm trying to. I don't know. It's weird. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Can we get a final wow at the end of the?
100%.
How's the coffee?
It's wow. I love it. And Yemenis guys know how to make every coffee. If it's American, well, he'll fuck up tomorrow.
We're live, Abe.
Oh, really?
Do we need to talk? We need to break things down for everybody. Well, when we're officially started, I have to break down everybody and explain to them who HFJ really is.
All right. As you guys can see, we already have the conversations rolling and starting already. But how's it going, everybody? This is Omar Thabit here from the Table Talk podcast. We are officially live. Our guest is Ibrahim, aka Halal Food Junkie. We are excited to have him here today. Excited also to have the guest co-host as well. We got Big Sis Abir Thabit in the building, of course. And then we have Shema Ghalib as well. For those of you that are watching or eventually watching, we are live on Oz Media 313's YouTube page. And of course, you can also listen to us on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. Today's topic basically is going to be talking about following your dreams. That's why we want to thank Shaymat for helping us bring Ibrahim over here, and
She's been on a roll.
She has been on a roll. She's been hooking us up with some great guests, so we appreciate that, Shay. And like I said, feel free to tap in, ask us any questions, comments. We're here. I got YouTube right in front of me. You could join us in the conversation. I'm looking forward again to hearing what Ibrahim has to say, because when you see what he does on Instagram and all social media sites, it's awesome, and you can tell it's somebody that is passionate about what he does and someone that did follow his dreams. But before we do start the show, of course, I gotta give a shout out to our sponsors. And I had to put the food places as our sponsors for today, just so I could throw a
it's only right.
Subliminal, you know what I'm saying?
That was the aha moment.
Yes. Oh, really?
Yes.
There you go.
I was going to take him to the Balkan House.
Yes. So that is the first sponsor of today, which is the Balkan House restaurant. We did not prepare for this, by the way.
But this was
Yep.
yes.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, so the Balkan House restaurant, first of all, by the way, Ibrahim, you said that you've been there before.
Yeah, I've been there once.
Been there once. First of all, they're famous for their doner kebab sandwich. Now they have a doner bowl, which I'm assuming, because I have not tried it yet, but I have to try it. My cousin who works there has been pushing me to try it. You had it?
It's really good. Yeah,
really? It's like the doner with everything else in it?
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yep.
There we go. So they have the doner bowls now. They even serve breakfast. All of their food is halal, by the way. Shout out to Halal Food Junkie. Their service is A1, and they're always giving back to the community. That's why we appreciate them so much. Their Hamtramck location is located 3028 Kniff Street. They also have a Ferndale location, 314 West 9 Mile Road, Ferndale, Michigan. Their number is 313-262-6234. You ever want to give them a call. Shout out to Juma. Shout out to Hassan, the owners over there. Like I said, their students go to Hanley. Great family, great kids. We appreciate them as well. So, Balkan House Restaurant. The second sponsor, of course, is Leo's Coney Island Royal Oak, but we'll get into that later on in the show. With all that said, first of all, welcome back, ladies. Last week it was kind of more just asking questions. It was the mayor debate.
Totally off.
Yeah,
Off
we were all tight. We had nothing to say. We couldn't even. I don't even know if we could have laughed or not. Every time we laughed,
I was trying not to favor anyone, you know.
Yeah.
I felt like I might have the best seat. He was just sitting between the two normal. Like I was just like, don't breathe wrong. Don't look anything. Don't look left. Don't look right. Just hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was glad the camera didn't zoom in towards the end because the whole time I was looking at him, just going,
Yeah, exactly. And then they kind of got heated towards the end, so then we had to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But
it got awkward real
it did.
quick.
And I didn't know what to do in that situation. Like I didn't know if I should let them keep going or because I wanted them to talk. Because their answers were all polite,
Yes.
what I'm saying?
They were very professional.
And then towards the end, they were going back and forth. So I didn't know if I want to let them talk.
They challenged each other.
They did. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let them go. Hopefully nobody goes overboard and then it goes off topic. But we're here this week. We're talking about following your dreams. That's why we got Ibrahim, a.k.a. Halal Food Junkie, in the building today. So first of all, obviously, the first question is going to go to you. You want to introduce yourself. Obviously, you put all your socials out there, and then you answering the question of why is it important to follow your dreams. So go ahead, Ibrahim.
So my name is Abraham Obeid, aka at Halal Food Junkie on Instagram.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow.
Wow. All right, guys. So follow your dreams. This one's a tough one. I started Halal Food Junkie about 3.5 years ago. I think in like 2 more weeks, it's going to be our 4th year anniversary for HFJ. So stay tuned, get ready.
Giveaway. No.
Hey.
Hey, by the way, I see you got merch on too. HFJ right there, by the way. HFJ
Hey,
merch.
so it wasn't planned. I didn't even like...
Yes, you did.
No, I swear to God.
Can we take a second and just why are you wearing your headphones like that? You don't want to mess up your fro?
No, it's okay.
Wallah, you're so Dearborn.
Hey, actually it feels good.
There you go. Now you look normal. Okay, let's get back to it. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Shema always has to put me on blast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the family.
So follow your dreams. I've always wanted to do. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, raw. It's gonna be raw today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very raw.
Yeah.
So basically, growing up in a household, father's educated, mom is a stay-at-home mom. My father is an engineer, is a professor at Henry Ford. He always wanted us to do medical, something in the medical field, just like 99% of all Arab parents.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say sounds out of
And
it.
we're gonna
Sounds
get into
perfect.
that too, by the way, later on. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so my dad's like, let's do medical, it's the safest route, you're gonna get paid, all this kind of stuff. And what did I do growing up? I was gonna do nursing, wanted to become a nurse, I saw all my friends go to Ann Arbor, they were doing medical, all that stuff. I was like, all right, let me become a nurse. So I went to Henry Ford, and then I went to Wayne State, went back to Henry Ford, and then I was 20 years old, I was about to take the nursing exam, and then bam, I started working at the hospital. You ever volunteered at the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Volunteered? No.
I used to be a front desk receptionist at an urgent care. I hated it.
Yeah. So
I hated it.
right when I volunteered, I was like, all right, this is not for me. Like, right when you go in the hospital, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel right. I don't feel like it's me. But I was still lost. So what did I do? Dropped out of college for 2 years. Started working in the public school system as a substitute teacher.
Yeah, we're both teachers. I don't know if you know that. We're both. First grade.
I didn't know that. He told me it was a PE.
Yeah.
That was something I was looking into before doing Halal Food Junkie, actually, because I love sports and kids. So that's another passion that I'm going to get to later. So that's what happened. So I dropped out of college, started subbing. Me and my father did a lot of sit-down talks for like 7-8 months. He told me, go back to school. I was like, what should I go back to? He's like, all right, try business, get a business degree, get something. So I went to Central Michigan. I graduated from there. Still considered lost because, as a business major, you have to work in some type of job or per se, even like after you graduate. It's not like medical or anything. So I did that, and then I started working at a private school. And that's where, like, a lot of things were happening in my life. I had family trouble at home, My best friend was going through cancer. And, not everything was going my way, you know what I'm saying? And I was 23 at the time. All I knew was teaching, you know. But I knew that it wasn't gonna cut it. Let's be real. Like the money, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying every teacher gets, but I was working in a private school, so it's different. So like you know how the pay is. It's not the best.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you know, deep down you can't really do this long term. I didn't have a teaching certificate. You know what I mean? I was teaching, but there was a teaching shortage at the time in 2018.
Yeah, there's still to this day.
It's only getting worse to me.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and then one of my really close friends at the time, still is a great guy, a great friend of mine. He took me to Chicago. We started going to this one place. It was a Halal Chicago festival to meet new people. I still was at like 5,000 followers. It was like it was a year and a half in of Halal Food Junkie. I'm not getting paid. Wasn't a job. It was just a hobby. But I still loved it. I still dreamed about it, but did I know where it was gonna go? No, but I just knew I loved doing it. That's it. So what happens? Ramadan comes, the first Ramadan food festival. No, it was actually I think the Ramadan food festival where Hassan Shami did it. Hype. I was at 5,000, and Ramadan comes, my views go crazy.
Wow.
You know, because everyone's sitting on Instagram, they're waiting for what's your mom making for iftar. Everyone's hungry. They're on their phone. So I jumped up from 5,000 to 7,000. Mind you, I'm still trying to figure out what can I do with this for real.
Yeah.
You know, 24 years old. I'm heading into 24 years old, right? My father's like, go get a job at the bank. You know, a year and a half after I graduated, I'm like, no. That's when I put in my mind. I met a good mentor as well. His name is Hussein Sharara. He was the one that told me. So actually, one of my friends, Bilal, back in previous 6 months, he was telling me, Abe, this is February of 2019, 2018. I'm sorry, yeah, 20. I would say 2019. He's like, yo, you can make this into a career. I'm like, what do you mean you can make this into a career? You know, I started explaining to him how you can make social media get paid. There's social media management. Not a lot of people know that, I think. Content creation, creating content for businesses and restaurants, and just promoting them on your actual social media page. That's why you build a platform. So I tried doing that for 6-7 months full time. Nothing. Like barely anything. Working hard. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Then I thought of it. I was like, okay, I went to Fortson. Shayma knows, she graduated from Fortson. Fortson has an enrollment of over 2,000 kids. Maybe if I walk in as a substitute teacher, one of the kids is going to recognize me. It's going to blur out my social media name, right? What happens?
Lo and behold.
Yeah, so that's where it starts. So then fall comes, and he doesn't know what I'm doing. He just says, just go work. You know, you're working. At least you're making money. Mm-hmm. My plan is I'm going to work. I'm going to substitute. But at the same time, I'm going to grab a following. And what does this do? I already foresaw the future. When these kids are juniors and seniors and they graduate at that year, 2-3 years down the road, when they're in college, they're going to be driving more. They're going to want to travel more to places.
And I'm not going to lie, these high school kids, they love eating out. They love eating out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Can I raise your question with that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does that pause the whole thing? Or?
No, it's okay.
Oh, you guys can
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then that happened. I surpassed the 10K mark. That was like one of my milestone goals. 10,000 followers. You know. So when that happened, I was like, okay, I can really do something with this. Then there's Dearborn High. There's the other schools, the other programs. Then there was the Crestwood School District. This is right before COVID. I was like, how could I, also tap into another audience in the Dearborn Heights? At the time, you can't really substitute there's like a lift or, there's some type of restriction or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had a friend, Tarek Turfy. He was the coach at the time. I still believe he is the coach. I was like, hey, I would like to sponsor an event. So their biggest event of the year is their, what is it called? I forgot. It's a big basketball event where they have it's called snow coming. So a big crowd comes. I was like, all right, let me sponsor 50 shirts. I had 2 restaurants to sponsor with me called Halal Food Junkie. It had like crustwood colors and all that. And then I gained a big audience just from that side of town. You know what I'm saying? So that
the exposure and all that.
Big time exposure, get to know who I am, you know, because again, I'm originally from East Dearborn, you know, born and raised, you know. That's like my side of town. So when you go to Dearborn Heights, as you know, in Dearborn, there's different sections of people, of how you grow, a culture, all that kind of stuff. So that happened. COVID comes. And mind you, every day I'm getting content. I'm a content-driven person. Every day I'm posting. As you guys can see on social media. What comes about? I knew we couldn't go to restaurants. So the first day of COVID, where everything in the world shuts down, I'm like, Mom, get in the kitchen. Let's go.
Oh, nice. Still content, right?
Still content, but what? It's home cooking. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Mom, just make something quick, you know? Maybe I'll take a picture of you. I took a picture of my mom. I didn't realize how big it was. And I saw the growth just pew, like that. And that one day I saw it, I was like, okay, you know what? We got something here. It might work. Every day for the 2 months of starting of COVID, me and my mom were just cooking up in the kitchen. And my mom has that Arab mindset mentality, boater, if you want to say. She likes to make fun of you, fun of me actually, her son. So Arab moms like to rip on their children, mess around. It's like tough love kind of thing. And she started like cracking up her Arab jokes. And me, as a kid, I was like, no, Mom, you can't say that, can't do this.
People loved it.
They liked it more. They saw the real side, the raw side that I really never got to. I never showed because I was too
caught up in being professional, maybe.
Caught up being professional, being a person, you know, Halal Food Junkie, whatever.
Yeah.
So that happened, and you know, I started using TikTok, and it started working. And I just like boosted up from 12 to like 17, 18,000. She gained me literally 5,000-6,000. It's not even about the followers. It's the exposure, the people sharing it, the messages, and how it related to their own families, to your parents. It brought a personable feel that you're inside my home now. I got to make you feel like you're part of my family, you know. So that happened, and then as time went on, I started to like really strategize of how to grow. There was also news agencies that helped me out, and just it's the community at the end of the day. It's the community. It's not only my mom or me working doing this. A lot of it has to be the community. It's a lot about trust. They have to like you. You have to be liked. You know, you have to have a clean record as well. So I know that I'm running on thin line. I always tell Shema that, you know, like I know that anytime I go out, people are looking at me. If I act a certain way or whatever, they might think like, oh, he's like this, you know. That sometimes gets to my head, by the way. Like, I don't talk about it too much, and I know this is like probably off script, but I'll do have like sometimes where I'm like really sad or like not feeling well because I know that everybody is watching, or if they're not watching, they're seeing it from someone else or sharing it or putting it in WhatsApp. So sometimes you have that stress.
Like the anxiety of maybe them not liking you or not liking your content or not liking what you're...
Or me as a person, maybe they're just watching it. Yeah. You don't know. You don't know.
The judgment, I know what you mean. Like what they're thinking.
What they're thinking, exactly. So there's times where I have that, and there's times where people will come up to me like, oh, this or that person, and then sometimes they'll get to you, and then there's times where it's like, you know, hey, forget it. Like we talked about it last time, me and Shayla at the coffee shop. Remember about how many people will look at you and they'll judge you a certain way, but they might not even really know you. Mm-hmm. So I felt like that for some long time, but then I was like, all right, khalas, that's it. You know, like I've been doing this for so long regardless. Why am I gonna think of this person or that? I already put myself out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know that's off topic, but
no, definitely, and it's not easy to do that. By the way, get over that part. If the not worrying about what other people have to say, because it can, like you said,
it can get tricky.
Yeah.
You know, mentally.
Yes, definitely. So Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, and I'm gonna just ask the same question to the two ladies here, just to see what their thoughts are as well. Like, I guess, why do you feel, Shayma, it's important for someone to follow their dreams?
You know, for a long time, and I know when we were brainstorming this topic, and I know like we just threw a name to it, and I actually got stuck because when I was like, first of all, am I following my dreams? And then I got stuck because I didn't even know if I had a dream. Yeah. Right? And then I was like, but I don't want to be called dreamless. Like, I don't want to say I'm dreamless.
That was kind of me at one point. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I literally Googled it. I literally went to Google and I defined it. I was like, what the heck is the real definition of a dream? Like, what is a dream? So it literally says, it's a cherished aspiration, ambition, or idea. And then I was like, oh, I'm full of those.
Yeah.
So then I do have dreams, right? So then I told myself, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. Sometimes when there's words and the words have specific meaning, right when it has that word or that entitlement, you lose it. You don't think that you qualify under that specific entitle, right? So like right when I saw that dream, I was like, oh, I don't think I can qualify under that. And then I broke it down, literally right going back to simplicity and taking it back to this to the logistic sides of it. I realized, yeah, everybody has aspirations. Everybody has ambitions, and
the hardest part though is
everybody has dreams.
Is finding what your dream is,
Yeah.
and some people might not find it until they're 40, 50.
Right.
Some people might not
no
ever
age
find
to
it.
it.
Yeah,
Right, and then I told myself that like, and that's why I literally called you. And right when I said follow your dreams, the first person that came to my head was HFJ, because there's so much, and we talk about this all the time. Like, this is why it's so real. Like, following your dreams and actually doing something with your life is so real. And like, this is what I'm talking about. So like, the basic of life is we're trying to get ourselves to the best versions of ourselves, right? And that's like the fundamental key to life. Like, that's how we can honestly say we're doing better with ourselves, right? And that can be in any type of way, shape, or form, right? So then I was trying to break that down, and I was like, okay, so what would be like the criteria of actually somebody trying to find themselves, right? And then I was like, oh my God, and Wallah, it was so crazy because you know that song, Kiki, do you love me? And then I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I'm gonna call it Kiki's 3Ks, or Kiki's 3Cs, right? And it's 3 things. It's courage, consistency, and character, right? Those 3 things will enable any type of growth into your life, which then ultimately, transcribes into following your dreams, right? So then I told myself, okay, so So I was like, I tried to like break it down. I tried to go back to the simplicity of it, right? And so I was like, okay, there we go. We just need to have it boom, boom, boom. And honestly, when you have those 3 components of life, you're doing something with your life. There's not a single person that I know that's consistent, that has the courage and has good characters, working on their akhlaq every single day, and they're just lost in the sauce. I don't know no one person. It's usually one of those 3 things need a little bit of help, which is the result of that person being lost in the sauce, right? So Kiki's 3 C's, for example, voila. So that one's there. And then I told myself, what are the type of ambitions that you want people to view you as, right? And I get this like little thing that we joke around with. Is like, I'm little, I'm tiny, like my actual size is, I'm a little person, right? But I have a voice of a monster. I have a voice of a dragon. I have a big voice. Then we go attitude 6'7", right? So the whole 4'11", 6'7" ratio. But anyway, I realized that in so many words, I aspire to be a voice for so many people that don't have a voice. And that in itself is a dream. Yeah. And that in itself is ideas that can push in so many different channels. So it's funny that we have all of these big words. It's just, and I like that we have conversations like this, because ultimately every single person that's sitting at this table, we have one single thing that we all have in connect, all of us, and that's we all want to empower. Yeah. Through whatever channel that we're really comfortable with, we all want to empower,
That's
right?
Very true. Yeah.
So, and it's like we're in so many words, we're voicing our voices to people that are not able to use their specific voice. 100%. So we have that similar dream. And Mullah, when you think about that, then you say like, oh, okay, because you were talking about community and having community. But when you know that there's people in the community that also want to empower, and now you have a platform that can also empower. Now we have similar dreams. Now I have the actual momentum and the motivation to actually want to pursue my specific dream. And I want to talk about that in the next question, because that's another way to find when you realize that you have a dream and you need some guidance, that's a good way to put it. So we'll save on to that.
My wife just wanted to chime in, said Halal Food Junkie's Instagram page. Wow, OT picking date night ideas will be interesting now. I was just giving her a speech last week of, I know we're all busy people. I was like, but we need to start dedicating some time to picking places because nothing is more wasteful than going to a place that you're like, especially when you have so much things going on.
I'm not gonna lie, like I follow you, so the reason why I followed you is because you know where the good places are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically,
So,
thank you. You just helped us out. All right, you just helped us out picking
made it
date
a lot easier.
the day night ideas. But did you want to touch on anything else about the question that they didn't cover?
Yeah, I think you guys did really well with that. The biggest thing about following your dreams to me is like you're not living your full potential.
Yeah.
And you can be someone's inspiration, and you wouldn't know like what you're capable of doing. You know, you're losing a part of you when you're not following your dreams.
And all I was gonna add was, I feel like you sincerely are happy when you do follow your dreams.
You won't work a day of your life.
Yes.
If you're following your dreams.
Yeah.
You know, Lola,
I'm gonna chime in.
Go ahead.
I don't think I really chimed in about following your dreams as much. I think I was just talking about like my
background, but
you were venting.
Yeah.
No, it was interesting how it came up.
It was like the come up basically of Halal Food Junkie. But basically, what I was trying to get to is like just be consistent. You know, even though there's gonna be a lot of things coming your way, thrown at you, curveball, whatever, just keep working hard. And trust me, when you put your heart and soul into something, especially with me, when there was days where I didn't want to go in front of a camera, I was like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Like, you start to question yourself through the process, you know? And that's another thing I take from, because I'm huge on sports. I watch a lot of sports. Just like the 76ers, Joel Embiid always says, trust the process. You have to trust the process. You have to believe. But you also have to, and this is eventually down the road, this way, you also have to plan. So what I didn't do, I'm not gonna lie, like most people, they usually plan. I just threw myself out there. I didn't know why I threw myself out there, but
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
A dream without a plan is just a wish.
That's a good point.
So
that's a good point.
There you go.
I like that.
A dream without a plan is just a wish. And when I was listening to you tell your story, I'm like, oh, I wanted to say, I'm like, he planned, you know? Next thing, what you said, you had like a lot of doubt. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Right?
Yeah.
And you didn't let that. You didn't let that stop you from actually doing it. Well, even if he had doubt. It's not like he was like, okay, I was so confident, I'm gonna do this.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
There's still times where I'm not like.
Exactly.
Listen, even to this day, to where I got, and people will tell me like it's crazy how sometimes I meet people and like, alhamdulillah, you know, like especially the younger generation, I get a lot of love and I appreciate and love them, and like I'll hear like I'm a big fan, like I get happy, like it's from my hometown, you know, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you'll hear it from even like other people. Like yesterday, I was at the Terry Mount, for instance. A man from Columbus, Ohio, follows me. That's 4 hours or 3-4 hours, I believe. And he was like, "Yeah, my brother-in-law knows you from Toronto. This and that. You're big time." And when you hear that, you're like, "That's great," and I'm happy. But for some reason, I have this Kobe Bryant mentality, Mamba mentality, where you're not done and you're not. And you're not, and it's not good to always be complacent. You know, you always got to keep driving, and that's why before this show even started, I was showing Omar.
Yeah.
I was showing Omar my new chapter, inshallah, is to now, because I'm so incorporated with the student athlete body, with the youth and food. Now it's time to bring merge them together. Let them speak about their journey from the ages of 7 to 17 to talk about their journey either in soccer, football, tennis, and we're not going to be racist to any. No, my first episode that's inshallah coming out this week, it's going to be a female. So we want to diversify it and to show people. And now, because I like what Shayma was talking about, platform, we can give a platform for the voiceless and to also show people that, hey, a lot, and this is, I don't know, you know this, coming from Dearborn, a lot of these great football athletes or whatever, they come out, we're not going to make it to the NFL. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. They already put in their mind that they're limited.
More than that. Okay, forget the people that actually have the dream. Because, well, like those guys, like for the high school guys that are actually giving themselves that type of momentum. How about the kids that don't even know? Like they have no athletic attributes. You know what I mean? It's those people that connect to your page too, because food it's anybody can versatile to food, right? It's not something that you need to be this in order to understand it. Food it's a fundamental piece of life. So that's why with your page in general, like it's so diverse in the sense that you used one of the only things that every single human either does or has a problem with, and that's food.
It's a universal language.
Yeah,
it is.
Exactly. It is.
Halal Food Junkie, literally, there's so many food pages out on social media, and how I had to distinguish myself and differentiate myself from others is community, love,
yes,
giving back,
religion, God, culture, everything in one. Whatever I can showcase from my community, and also if I can spread that love to other communities, that's where it is. And alhamdulillah, when I meet people outside that, you know, I meet through social media, they're like, hey, we love what you're doing. We love how you're promoting positivity and love. Because there's so many times that people want to put you down and this and that, but for what?
Because it's easy. Because it's easier to hate somebody. It's easier to give somebody an insult, or it's easier not to understand where somebody's coming from and to belittle that human being than to just understand, to just stay quiet. Because honestly, we're public. We're in the public eye, so we can honestly speak on this behalf. But like, if somebody doesn't understand where I'm coming from, or if somebody doesn't like my motto, or they don't like the way I move or whatever, it's a lot of ish talking. It's a lot of talking that comes on.
There's times where I don't even want to share my dream, or I don't even want to share what my aspirations are, because I'm going to hear more, really? That's what you want to do? Like, really? You think people are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that little, like, I don't want to hear that. Like, sometimes it's better to move quiet. You know what I'm saying? Until things get where you want them to be, and then,
By the way, right now I'm just getting so passionate. This is what I love right here. Is having, like, these types of conversations, even with my friends, when I'm sitting, I'm not just saying this on camera, I'm being dead serious. Yeah. These are the type of conversations that I like to have with my friends. If it's not about growth, if it's not helping out the community, if it's not, listen, I don't care about what this person did or what that person did Saturday night with this person. I don't care. I care about the grand scheme of things. Right. I care about where the community is going. How are we going to help out each other? That's the most important thing.
100%.
Yeah. And just want to give a shout out to Pick a Day as well. You know, she followed her dreams. I remember she's a big creative person, so we didn't know what it was going to be. But that's what she is speaking of when she speaks of, you know, her plans and dreams. I remember her talking about that and making it happen and making it official as well. So, just going off of that as well. But I'm going to start off with you, all right? Because I think you were last time. So why is it hard, you think, for someone to follow their dreams?
Okay, it's crazy because before this I was at a game and my Uncle Nash was there with me, and I was like, you know, what are your dreams? Or what did you dream? He's like, you know, and he's like in his 40s. He would get really mad at me for saying that, but he's like in his 40s. He's like, honestly, I didn't have a chance to dream. I was like, don't say that. Like, don't say that. Don't blame anybody for you not, you know, dreaming. He's like, no, I'm so serious. Like, he's like, when I was growing up during the time, I really wanted to go to school. I really wanted to get into the medical field. But, you know, at the time, my dad wasn't working, and, his mom was a stay-at-home mom, and they needed money. And then I had the opportunity to go into Chrysler, and at that time, it was, like, you know, really big or whatever, and I was going to make a lot of money, so I went into it. I was like, so do you wish that you dreamt more? He's like, 100%. He's like, I wish I had bigger dreams. I wish I really, you know, put my mind into what I'm really good at or what I wanted, you know, to be. And for him, it was family. Like, he had to make sure that he was helping out his family. A lot of people have health issues, you know, that they can't follow their dream. And to me, it's like, no, it's not. I don't think there's a reason to not follow your dreams. Maybe put a hold on your dream. You know what I'm saying? If you have those issues, put a hold, but you're never too old to go back and follow your dream. You know?
You know, I like what you said earlier when you said if it's not a dream, if there's no plan behind the dream, it's just a wish.
Yes.
So honestly, that's what I would look at and say those were my wishes in life. You know, because there's a big difference between having wishes in your life and then having attainable dreams in your life. And remember, and that's the biggest thing that I had a hard time even going into this conversation. And you guys know how I am. I'm really like, let's get to the fundamentals. Let's get to the simplicity of it. And honestly, it's just aspirations, ideas, and ambitions. That's it. And Nash is a perfect example of a man that has ambition, dream, or ideas, and he has aspirations.
What does Nash do again?
So my uncle Nash works at Chrysler, but I think his dream personally, because he's my uncle, he loves to cook.
MashaAllah.
He loves to cook.
Oh,
and I'm telling
there you go.
he is great at
Can we
it.
put him on the HFJ?
I'm talking about his
should.
grilling.
Yeah.
Grilling
All right, we'll talk about
is
it.
amazing. His grilling is amazing. He has a special, what does he call it?
Nasty Nash.
Nasty Nash sauce. Like, literally, I try to promote, I made him a shirt, like, Barbecue King. Like, I'm just trying to, get him to, really, he wants to open up a food truck, but, it's that, I gotta be at work, and I gotta, he has 4 kids, and he takes care of his mom, my grandma lives with him, he has a lot on his plate, but he's gonna do it. I'm gonna be that person that's gonna nag at him every time.
HFJ will put it on. We'll put it on for the world to see.
There you go.
So yeah, but he works at Chrysler.
What are your thoughts on why people don't follow their dreams, or why is it hard for them to follow their dreams?
Peer pressure, family, friends, wanting to be a certain title to show people, hey, look who I am. Mm-hmm. Even though when you really think about it, it doesn't mean anything. It literally
doesn't mean anything.
It literally, like right now, I can be named Dr. Hassan for all I know. Okay, at the end of the day, you're going to work for 7-8 hours. You're going back home to your family. So what if this person calls you that? And by the way, I am not. I love doctors. I have my brother's friends are a lot of medical professionals. So I'm just saying that because in the Arab household, it's always being pushed on medical. 100%. But in all reality, when you go to college, there's only 1% or whatever that go to it and actually stick to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I like to show on the page on Halal Food Junkie, and I think a lot of people like to showcase this as well or talk about it, is that you can do other things to be happy, also make money, and just be comfortable.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And going off of that, just throwing in a quick answer, you mentioned ambition. I was gonna say people just lack the ambition. Mm-hmm. They have the idea, they have the what they should do, they just don't want to do it. They just are not motivated.
Friends need to be hype man.
Yeah,
and you want to know, well, I have it written down right here. I was like, everybody has these issues that stop them from their dreams. And obviously those ones they go without saying, right? The finance issues, if you have health problems. I mean, I don't even know what my dreams really fully are yet because I was stopped. My life was on pause for a good amount of my adult life because of my health. So I'm still trying to figure out my dreams. But then I was thinking, what is my biggest problem right now that I can't? What's blinding me? Why can't I figure out what my dreams are? And I'll tell you guys what it is. It's the lack of support. It's the lack of support.
What kind of support?
From every single dimension. So when we look at the community, from the communal support, right? We have, it's very hard, and mind you, I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about it from a perspective, from me, sitting in my perspective. I'm a Yemeni girl, okay? That in itself is a lot. That in itself is a big pill to swallow. And then you have the lack of support coming from the community. So now when it's either you have a lot of girls. So I remember my first time when I went public on Instagram, and I was like, you guys know, I have a lot to say. And there's been a lot, and I usually do this all the time. People are coming up to me, 10, 20 people at a time, and I'm just advising. I was like, why not? Why not just make it a page? I'll never forget mine and my younger brother's conversation about that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go public. I remember going public, and I remember posting my first selfie.
I feel you. People are probably listening what is she talking about? But I understand.
And I remember the hate, the amount of literally emotional abuse almost. I remember getting it from every single aspect, from the dudes all the way to the girls and everybody in between. So I got the fair share. And I'm like, why? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm pushing my story out there. And Abe just said it. You don't need to have a degree or this title. I have my experiences, and I will be damned if I let anybody use my experiences and tell me that that's not big enough for me to talk about. Because it happened to me. It's my life, right? Yeah. So for me, it was just that whole factor of lack of support and how everybody feels the need or feels the entitlement to speak on somebody. When every aspect of what they're doing is they're honestly trying to advise the better good. They're doing it from a better place in their heart. And when people are literally using that same thing to belittle a person, that's where I have a problem, because people are not going to want to follow their dreams.
Yeah.
So like now, the courage that I bestow, and that's why I put that for one of the 3 C's, because you have to have an immense aurora of courage. You need to have like a level, like, you know when they say you need to have thick skin? This is the thick skin that we're talking about. It's that courage. And if you don't have it, unfortunately, you don't get to follow your dreams. Like, how messed up is that?
Yeah.
So you're basically saying if I don't have thick skin, I can't follow my dreams. And that's the problem with where it comes from, the communal or our society or our cultural push, right? If a group of people are going to be tuning in and they're finding the 1, 2, 3s to pick at, or to find the, oh, look at what she's doing, or why is she out here, or why she's Yemeni, she shouldn't be doing this, you're literally defying somebody's truth. And at that point, that's not fair. That's not fair to them, and that's not fair to you as well, because you're belittling yourself in a sense, right? So it works both ways. And honestly, it's just, for me, it goes back to honestly watching people and just be like, honestly, we need to do better as a community. We need to do do as a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stop being haters.
Yeah. So
All
what
right.
you talking about, Willis? Like, honestly, like, I'm like, she's talking about Willis. Like, why you mad? She's talking about.
So
A lot of it comes from them not being able to do it. You know?
Right. And that's that lack of ambition that Ahmed was talking about.
going back to you, Shay, because you haven't started one yet. So this one's going to be a little tough. It's going to be straight coming at you, and you got to answer it and keep it real. I know you kind of touched on it, but have you personally been following your dreams? Why or why not?
Okay, I literally said talk about being dreamless, because I feel like we need to talk about it. And I know, like, if I sat here with, like, your Uncle Nash and had a conversation about him saying, like, I didn't even have a dream. It's, like, so relatable, because that word. Yeah. It's that word and what that word specifically means to you. So when I took it, I was like, okay, I don't dream. Like, I physically, like, literally in, like, real life, I don't even dream. So I'm just, like, I'm literally dreamless. You know what I mean? But then I told myself, like, no, you have aspirations, you have ideas, and you have goals that you're trying to achieve every single day. And another thing that I want to put out there is, even though you might not know your specific goal or your specific dream in life, a good way to, like, fester that, or a good way to work on it, is just to perfect the perfect version of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So a good saying that everybody says all the time is what? Stay in your lane. So we tell people, like, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Well, I'll tell people, oh, I stay in my lane. But my lane is the best paved. It has waterfalls. They got palm trees back and forth. We got the brightest and the most neon signs. It's really well cut. So I take care of my lane. That's the difference. So not only am I staying in my lane, it's well put together. It's well taken care of.
I like that,
You
too.
see what I mean?
The
So no, I am
3
going to
Cs.
stay in I'm going to stay in my lane, but guess what?
And maintain
my lane is going to be well maintained. And that's the difference. That's the difference
That part.
Right. That's the part. That's the difference. That's the thing that sets us apart. So am I one to say, am I following my dreams? I hope. You know what I mean? Because I said, like, a nurse, like, do I really want to be washing somebody's butt all day? Not really. You know what I mean? But do I want to be helping somebody? Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, saving lives?
Saving lives. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not what you do.
So do you like some aspects of nursing and then some you don't?
I like the idea of helping people. And through people's health, I like that. Obviously, there's some that you can take, like, come on, Abe. Like, you're not going to go to every single thing. You know you're
There's
looking at
always gonna be
something and you're
something,
like, oh, I hate pistachio. But I, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's some aspects of it that I absolutely love. And then there's some aspects that I'm just like, I'd rather not, right? Yeah. So, but in the realm aspect of, like, taking a step back, it's very important to understand that even though it might not be your definition of that dream, if you're still progressing and there's still growth, you still are following your dream. You're still following your aspirations and your ambition.
I'll move the question to you. I know you kind of talked about Halal Food Junkie now that you are pursuing your dream, but I'm sure, I mean, a lot of people don't have just one dream. Is there another dream that you would mind sharing, or is there a dream that you did have that you maybe didn't pursue, if you want to talk about that as well, or something like that?
I mean, the dreams that I have now came through Halal Food Junkie, maybe opening up a restaurant one day, a food truck with the platform that I have. And then maybe also, and this is something that's, I'm trying to make it work or in the works, and I don't mind saying it, you know, to the world, is a product line, having my own Halal Food Junkie product line.
Oh,
you know,
like
maybe
merch?
like no, not even bigger than that. Like we're talking
Like
about
spices,
sauces, products, like actual products, maybe like your own HFJ marinated, let's say chicken or something. You sell it at these, like something like that, something different, something to bring to people's home. Because not every day, like Omar was saying, you can go to a restaurant. People have careers, jobs, families, and then they'll wait that weekend, whatever restaurant I posted maybe that week or previous, they just go through it and they'll find it and they'll go there. Now you can probably have it every day, maybe through a sauce, a chicken line, something.
Yeah.
And then I already started doing this. I knew that I have to target different audiences. That's why I incorporated with my partner Ahmed Hasham is also bringing in like how to cook recipes, and also food tours, so different stuff like that. And also maybe bring in, so Dearborn doesn't have like a legit food tour, other than Access that I think I know. And I was like, might as well make a Halal Food Junkie or something in the realms of a Dearborn food tour through Halal Food Junkie. Because
so when you say food tour, you mean like when people come in to visit?
Yes.
You show them around.
Like
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Because a lot of
people come to Dearborn to eat, literally.
A lot. And then I see them in the mosque places. They'll tell me, yo, we sent your page to this person, or these people will come up to me like, we're from out of state, we follow you, or we got your page from someone to go try out this place, that place, that place. So then I realized to myself, I'm like, if I'm getting all this, and then I did also an event with the University of Michigan Ann Arbor, is I took them out to a few places like Shatila, a really well-known place, Kahwa House, all that stuff. So I said to myself, if I was gonna do that, me and Ahmed spoke about, might as well make an actual food tour, where we can take people around. And then maybe one day, once I start, because I already went to 2 cities already, LA and Chicago. Hopefully, inshallah, if I can hit up the different cities, maybe we can fly these people out or go on a bus to different cities to showcase halal food. And also our itinerary of showing them different places to go to, sightseeing. So that's going to take a lot of time. That's a lot of effort, a lot of planning. And even because of Halal Food Junkie, I kind of want to make it a lifestyle. Like, where are you going to go this time? If you're going to go eat here, you're going to go bowling here, stuff like that. Yeah. Because it's Halal Food Junkie, you gotta live up to the actual
name.
Because halal, as you guys know, I don't ever talked about it, but halal, you're identifying Muslims. You're identifying a representation of a lifestyle for people.
Right, and I think a lot of people don't know that about you too is how involved you are with the masajids and stuff like that, which is another element of the word halal, right? Mm-hmm. So halal is not just the food we eat, it's the way we're supposed to be talking, feeling. Yes. It's the whole realm of life, and the fact that you're gonna make that intertwine, that little special where it's like people's actual lives, that's that unique factor. That's it. That sets you apart,
You wanna laugh? Tomorrow, one of the scholars is actually teaching a course in Islam, and it has to be about food, like the precautions of what you're eating, what you're supposed to eat, not only just being halal or haram, but also why should you intake this or that. And mind you, I don't know too much about it, but now it's cool. He's like, might as well, if you have all these viewers, educate them like what's going on, and it's also going to educate me. And that's also going to bring why like Halal Food Junkie, this is it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I like that.
That's the servicing part.
Definitely a great idea, and educating others is obviously hasanat and good deeds for you, man, because you're helping people, inshallah. So have you been following your dreams, big sister? Why or why not?
So I used to be a person that only has wishes. Like, to be real, I used to have all these wishes, but there were wishes. There was no plans. Like, 'cause in my mind, I wasn't gonna do any of that, right? So now I believe I am. I believe I'm going towards it. I had different dreams before. I used to want to be a dentist. Like, my initial dream was to be a dentist, but now, with life or whatever, and things, curveballs and having a baby and all that good stuff, I went into education. So I feel like I am following my dream through education. I do want to dream big and have my own school one day, but that's inshallah. Like, that's like the plan.
You said your own school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember our plan together?
Yeah.
So
is it more of an Islamic school or?
I mean, we haven't really. There's not really plan yet, but that's like long term, hopefully. Yeah. But then, like he was saying, I started off with my business now. I do luxury picnics, And I started off in January, literally with one table, couple pillows, couple candles, started with my family. And then now I'm booked every single weekend and it's doing great. And I'm kind of juggling both, like being the teacher, having the business on the side. And, I've always wanted to make people happy. I love planning things. And so, yeah, I feel like I am stepping towards my dream and, working towards it. And it feels good. You feel fulfilled. Yeah. When you do something that you really enjoy and you really love, you honestly feel fulfilled.
And I guess to answer the question, myself, I had to think about this one too because, obviously when you're younger, my dream at least, is to become a professional athlete, right? Is when you're still in high school, to be a professional baseball player, to be a professional football player or something like that, basketball. But in reality, when I sat there and I thought about the answer, I said to myself, like, okay, what is actually my dream? And my actual dream at the end of the day is to always help people. Somehow, some way. And that's what I realized. And to answer the question, have I been following my dreams? I think the answer is yeah. Because being at a teacher with the kids and stuff, every single day you have an opportunity to make
touch
a difference.
Someone.
Yeah, and make a difference.
Sure. Yeah.
And just doing this right here, we might not, a video might only get 50, 60 views, but we don't know the impact it actually has on the people that watched it. And just in general, just the idea of what we're doing, is inspiring to some people. Having these two ladies on the show and stuff, having somebody like you. And then, so sometimes I have to just reflect and I ask myself, because, you have that thing in your head that tells you, are you doing enough? Are you doing enough? Are you doing enough? And so when I sat there and I sent that question, I was sitting there and I was thinking about am I following my dreams? And I realized that my dream is to help people.
Yeah.
My dream is to help people and to constantly help people. And so I guess the answer is yes. Obviously not satisfied, right? You got to keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah, if your dream is not big enough, you're not really dreaming.
Yeah. But you want to know something? I realized in life, and I mean, correct me if you guys feel it or not, but for example, when you want something specific, I can tell you right now, I'm a student, so I could tell you I obviously want to finish school, right? That's a dream, right? Mm-hmm. And then I want to have a nice car, and I want to have my own home. So these are dreams. But then right when you get what you get, something else unlocks, right? And then you're not satisfied because then you want the next thing around or whatever the case may be. Let's say you have a business, you want your first business, then you're like, I want another one. So we're never satisfied, and that's life, right? So that consistency factor also helps us be this word called contentment, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's another aspect that I don't think we'll ever really, really, truly understand the word of contentment unless something in our lives absolutely makes us shift into that contentment level. But I feel like when it comes to that leveling, that's why when I was having such a hard time understanding, am I really following my dreams? Because I know I'll never be satisfied, really, because of that unlocking.
You know what I always thought your dream was? To be an ESPN broadcaster.
Yeah, I
love that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, but trust me, I love sports. But I knew when I was going into it. First of all, I went to print journalism, which that was probably my mistake. Was that I'm a big
I didn't know that
I'm a big this kind of stuff, talking radio, being on the camera type of stuff. So, but realistically, of course, that's awesome. That's awesome. But if I did that, I would not be really doing all these other things that's being done right now, which is...
Who was your favorite announcer? Mine was Stuart Scott.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everybody's, man.
Yeah. Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott,
okay.
I cry every time I watch
it. Stuart Scott.
I don't know nobody.
I know, here we go.
Yeah, Stuart Scott.
I know that one guy.
Stephen A. Swift.
Stephen A.
Every day I watch him for the past 9 years.
My friends call me Stephen A. because sometimes I go bold and get loud and stuff. So
he does fantasy football.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get you on a fantasy. But it's not just fantasy. We have a show where we just talk about sports. This Wednesday, I'm sending subliminal messages too right now.
I was gonna say, you don't get it? You don't get it?
So this Wednesday, next day, guy. I'm sure you're Michigan
Go
guy.
Blue, let's go.
Yeah, so this Wednesday
as you can tell,
we're focusing all Michigan State, Michigan, and then on Sundays we do fantasy football. But we gotta get you on one of those sports shows. But
that would be fun.
Before we do that, we gotta move on to question number 4. And basically, you kind of talked about this already, and I wanted to push this conversation to this point where we get here. And do you feel like it's harder for Arabic people, I know you kind of mentioned this, to follow their dreams compared to maybe other races? Why or why not?
Yes, it is. We're already a minority of the minority in this country, so we don't have a lot of opportunities. A lot of we don't have many opportunities if you in the grand scheme of things. And especially the past couple of years, I started to realize it even more in the business field and being trying to be an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur. It's ridiculous, and I think that's why I think many people take the route as engineer or a medical professional or what the case is, because it's the safer route. It's you're not doing a ballsy move, you know.
You're not taking a risk.
You're not taking a risk. It's, as simple as that.
For sure. Shema, I'm gonna pass it on to you. Same question. Do you feel like it's harder for Arabic people to follow their dreams?
Also, if you don't have even money too, like if you're not come from a wealthy family, like there's so many circumstances.
I think with the Arab in general, and I literally wrote minority of minorities, and Abe just literally said it's funny because like when you think about Arab, it's almost like we talk about minorities and then we have to talk about Arab because we don't even have a legitimate classification. We're literally technically considered white, which is ridiculous, right? So
they have to switch that in the Durham public. I was talking to somebody that I know that's in Durham public schools. They need to switch that.
They really do.
Because we're not getting actual
it's not
funding.
The census, 100%. It's ridiculous.
That's weird that they don't switch it from.
Some
like we're
schools,
Middle Eastern. Like
some
they can
schools
put that
recognize the Middle Eastern as Asian, which I'm like, we're not that.
We can technically be considered anything. We're Europe, which is why we get that white, right? And then we can literally pass as Asian.
Because
we have Asian descent, right? So and then literally we have the African, you know what I mean? So I don't even know. So I literally always put other, and I literally type in Middle Eastern. So because I feel like it should be a classification in itself, but
because there is African American, there are Arabs,
Sudanese,
Africa, so Muslims.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But in general, I feel like Arabs coming into America, into this land, we're the newbies. We're the new kids on the block, right? So in a sense, for the last 50, 60, 70, whatever, how many years your parents or grandparents have been here, we're still, in the grand scheme of life, we're still trailblazing. We're still trying to make a name for ourselves as Arab, as the Arab community. Not just singular souls, like how you were talking about the 1, 2, 3 that have the wealthy families or that can do something with their name in their belt, right? But we're still trailblazing as a community, so to show the world that we are a force to be reckoned with. And because of that, I do believe that we are, in the sense that we do have a harder time. But what do we always say? We never sleep on the underdog, right? And we are that. We're literally the underdog. We're still trailblazing. We're still making a name for ourselves, and it's coming in so many different ways. Now we're seeing it in TVs. Now we're seeing it in public figures. Now we're seeing it in influencers. So we're starting to see the Arab name come out, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of all these TikTok and new viral things are all Arab, or they're all this or they're this, and it's fun because we're finally starting to have a place in this world, and it's starting to become recognizable. But do I believe that Arab do have the down hand? We do, because we're still trailblazing.
What do you got to say about it?
It's crazy because when you see like a hijabi in a movie, you're like,
it's not normal.
But it's still, they don't even give us the right type of person. They're like, the storyline is totally off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, in working at a school, you have all these little girls, and I know we have the next question of the female or male, but like Arab in general, like a lot of them don't even have ambitions because their parents don't push them to even do anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They finish high school and it's like work, or bring back money or whatever, or get married.
Get married.
Literally, get married. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think it's harder. Also, just having, or if you do have parents that want you to go to school, what do they say? Be a doctor.
Engineer.
It's not, you can't just follow your dream. Like, what if you want to be a singer? What if they look at you and they laugh? Like, So it's like, we don't have that, be whatever you want to be. We'll be behind you. We'll, push you through it. Don't worry about money. It's a lot that our families are not used to.
It's the fear that initially stems off to, like, okay, that fear that's stemming this off, that's giving them that the voice, is lack of support. That's what it's showing off. So the face of it is lack of support, but what it's fueled by is literally fear.
Yeah.
So it's that fear. It's that fear that
doubt,
we
that
don't
fear,
want
that-
to. It's trailblazing. It takes the thick skin. It takes that person with the immense amount of courage to trailblaze, to literally set the foundation so other people can trailblaze behind them. How many people have I found out? And I've known Abe all of high school. Okay, so now seeing him at his level. And seeing all of these new food junkie pages and how they're coming up, it's but it's positive. Like, there was a trailblazer. Somebody trailblazed that. Somebody is literally teaching these people that there's a different outlet. There's a different channel.
I also, because I'm a true believer that rizq comes from Allah.
Yeah.
And whatever is meant for you is gonna be, yours.
100%.
And that, like, if people just stop worrying about making sure that they make enough money or making sure that they're working or making sure, and know that rizq comes from Allah, and really follow your intent in your initiative and what you really want and your intuition, that you'll be able to be the person that you're supposed to be, you know?
So the same knowing that you said that, and I love that you said that, because it's true. This does come from Allah, right? That same is the same way that I look at for the lack of support too. So, like, for example, and I know you guys, we talked about this for days and days, weeks on hand before we even started this, but we were already so worried about what people were gonna say.
Yeah.
And at that same level, the same risk that I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, God is gonna barak my money. He's gonna give me barakah in my money, or He's gonna give me barakah in my life, right? That's the same people that I'm telling, okay, so they're talking about me in so many words, but I'm gaining those hasanat too. So you're literally serving on so many. So that's why I'm like, okay, go ahead, continue it, because there's so many ways that you're still winning in a sense. You know what I mean?
That's what I told my friend too. He was telling me some stuff, and I'll tell him, I was like, listen, the more they talk, the more hasanats that we're getting at the end of the day, because it's a positive for us. So.
And that's why, like, it's different. Me being, obviously you guys are siblings, right? And me coming out, always being on the show, being the odd one out. And I tell myself, I was like, I don't carry fear.
Yeah.
I am not gonna let anybody start putting that into my head. There's no way. What we're doing something good. We know that there's some people that are not gonna agree on what we're doing or what we're standing on. They don't see the similar dream. They don't see the similar push. Their dream is not to empower the community. And to me, that's sad. That's sad that there's people out there that are just willing to belittle the community when they're the same people that are asking why?
Yeah.
Why me?
The one thing I wanted to mention, because we're talking to people about following their dreams, and parents who tell their kids to go be a doctor because they fear for their kid not making money in the
not
future.
being successful.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing we need to maybe reiterate, and you just did it through your story, and this is anybody's story, is the underestimation of commitment.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta understand, if you're gonna follow your dreams, you have to be committed though. Like,
Kiki.
you gotta, yeah.
Kiki.
So exactly, like
There we go.
commitment.
The
Like,
3 C's.
like you talked about it, like, the first, I think you said 6-9 months, you weren't getting much, and then now you are getting what
almost 3 years.
3 years. Okay, there you go, 3 years.
You
So
could have gave up.
yeah,
You know?
so commitment. I just wanted to say this because if you're going to preach to your parents, this is what I want to do. You gotta show your parents that that's what you really want to do. Like, you can't sit there and be like, hey, I want to do this, and then you're hanging out with your friends. And you're trying to pursue a field that's very competitive.
There was
Right.
days where I was telling Shema last time we spoke, where I'll sit 12 to 14 hours from restaurant to restaurant as I'm getting content to like 3-4 restaurants. At the same time, running other restaurant social medias was insane. Gas is one of them, was huge. Just your time, not spending time with other friends, family.
The
My
stress
life
load.
was HFJ, and it still is HFJ. It's a little different now. It's a little bit more, I would say, easygoing, but you don't want to feel always easygoing. Like yesterday or the past couple. Well, Friday was a great point where I was like, all right, I feel like I can do more because I've done shit. I try to do as much as I can with the community, mosque, all that stuff, giving back, all that stuff. I was like, all right, you know what? This idea with the sports and stuff, I was like, I gotta come back. And that's another thing too, not a lot of people know this, to stay afloat and you have to stay trendy, you have to stay with the trends, and you always have to adapt. So what's going on right now? This is a fall time. Let's get the athletes involved. Maybe in January we talk about something like this. December you have a giveaway month, or you have one big giveaway for the whole year, celebrating 2021, going into 2022.
Yeah, we've been through a lot.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you always got to stay afloat, and you got to keep people engaged. That's it.
Yeah. So, Shayma, do you feel like it's harder for men or for women to follow their dreams?
You know I'm gonna be
I
neutral,
wanna-
Nancy, so don't even come at me.
I was gonna say, I already know what Abid is gonna say, so I already know what I have to go. Okay, so I want to talk about it from, you know what I realized? I always side with like the guys. Like I'm right now, I want to say the guys. You know what I mean? I want to say the
Why?
guys really
You can
have it.
say both ends.
But I want to talk about both because honestly, being in the situation that I am now, I see it best of both worlds. Okay, so from the girl's perspective, firstly, because I'm a girl, so let me get that one off the rails. Females in nature, we're nurturers. So it comes off of instinct to nurture. So we tend to put ourselves last for that sole purpose. So dreams tend to be like almost like put away or on pause because you're so worried about satisfying or implementing other people's dreams in their lives. So usually if you're like married or if you have like a good supportive mom or sisters or whatever, they're usually your cheerleaders. They're literally usually your cheerleaders. And if they're not, then sorry, I don't know. But usually 99.9% of the time, if you have a good, solid female in your life, she's a nurturer and she's pouring into your plate more than you're pouring into hers, right? It's just how it goes. So I think just that in itself is a big reason why women have a hard time to follow their dreams. We tend to put people ahead of ourselves. We tend to not even think that we're even worthy enough to think about our own dreams, and then it just stems off of that. However, men.
I think same thing comes with men too.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
However, men, it's. And remember when we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and how we talked about women and men being literally different species, so we can't even like compare. It's the same thing in the sense of following your specific dream. Now, when I tell you what a man has to do, he's automatically going to have to put his dreams on the hold to support, right? So the same way that a female is nurturing her family, a man has to then support his family. And that looks different, right? It looks different household to household. But because of those two simple facts, it ends up becoming like it equals each other out. So like girls have a tendency where I feel like in the girls' world, it's a little bit more like cruel in the sense, like we just can't, we're not allowed. We don't even have the chance to even think that we might be allowed. Whereas a man, it comes from like, oh, wallah, his life is messed up. Like haram, he can't do anything because he has to work at a gas station for 12 hours a day, and then he has to go to high school, and then while his parents are in Yemen, and he's 13 years old. You know what I mean? And that happens. Where then as a girl is like, oh, I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, start making the bread and start doing this and khabbazing and doing this because my dad's gonna come home and he needs a full blown out meal. So it's similar, but it's different at the same time. But they're both not abiding by their dreams, right? But like in a sense though, it all comes back to self, right? So like I'm your perfect example because I look at like men in general, and it's sad to say that you are not the typical man. You get what I mean? That you're a role model. So if I want my brothers to look up to a successful muhtaram man, I'll be like look at somebody like Umar, right? So it's not like the normal. That's sad. That's sad that we don't have numbers and how we're supposed to look at society. It's sad to me that when we look at men, it's usually them having, let's say, basic jobs, or let's say staying up, barely afloat, okay? Or they're stuck in comfortability, right? Which I like to say stuck and stupid. Or another big thing that happens a lot is they're so comfortable to the point where they don't even recognize what they're doing anymore. And it becomes that lack of ambition. So for example, if a man is, the same man is going to not check up on his sister, not, figure out if she needs anything or whatever. And the only time that they are doing it is that when it comes to the finances. So when that specific human being is only, like, literally sees that human person as, somebody that I just have to support, you and yourself are enabling a whole community to look at a whole different world just like you. And again, that's sad because you're belittling your mind. You're telling yourself that your sister is nothing more than a person that I have to pick up and drop off, or is something that I shouldn't even see if she wants to go to school or if she has the aspirations to be something bigger in her life, right? And these are our serious. The same guys that have daughters, or the same guys that are saying like, oh, do you, or I don't, but they're the people that are belittling the females in their lives, which is sad. That's why these females don't have voices. These are why there's girls that have to come over and now have to be the voice for these girls and tell the men that what you're doing is not right. You know what I mean? And that in itself is a challenge itself. So there's so many. But what do I honestly believe it goes 50-50, right smack dab in the middle. The guys have an equal set of hardships that the girls have. It's just different.
Yes, 100%.
Go ahead. I bet you can feed off of that, I guess.
I agree with her 100%. Definitely the situation. I feel like I wanted to touch on how sometimes when girls get married, they feel like they can't follow their dream. Mm-hmm. They feel like that guilt, like, oh, I got to take care of the house. I got to make sure, I'm doing the wifely duties or whatever. But when you have a supportive husband, you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to put a cap on it. I remember when we had that one talk, it was like a bunch of girls on the panel, and you explained how, why do I have to pick either a career or, being married? Why can't I have both? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, okay, for example, that's a great one. Because, I tell myself all the time, do I dream to be married? I mean, I think, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna settle. I'm not gonna tell myself, Shima, you can't be a badass and be somebody that's, helping people or, curing people's ailments or whatever the case may be, and then have a man that you're just like, it's okay. No! You don't have to have, your life doesn't have to be black and white. You can color outside the lines. You can color outside the line. And what's crazy, you guys, is, wallah, I'll never forget this. I thought there was something seriously wrong with me because kindergarten, first grade, I used to fail, E. I used to get E's. I used to literally get E's because I couldn't color inside the lines. And now as an adult, I'm like, wow, how crazy is that? It's literally my life. Yeah. So subhanAllah. Yeah. So I love that you mentioned that.
But basically, I feel like you said, it goes hand in hand. And then you have guys that feel like they can't follow their dreams if they get married because they have to support their family. So in both aspects, I feel like it goes together.
A guy's favorite thing to say, I can't get married because the girl's gonna crack me $60,000. Right, Abe?
You laugh.
Right? Right?
Lebanese culture.
That's all of us, man. Seriously. It's so
But you
wrong.
know what? It's funny. I almost got engaged a few years ago, or married, or whatever you want to say, and didn't work out. But thank God, and I told Shayla, thank God it didn't work out because I would not be where I am today for that. Because you have to be single.
If it ain't for a season, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Mm. Men or women have it harder to follow their dreams?
Well, woman.
Woman. Why is that?
That's what I feel.
100%.
Because
me too, by the way. I agree.
In our culture, no, I would say culture. It's not a religious thing. Well, no, it's culture thing. I would say, because they have a certain age where they have to so-called get married, have 3 kids, and all this
fantasy. Or something's wrong with them.
Or something's wrong with
guys,
them.
I'm
sorry, We're still good.
They're good. They're good, Shayla.
I think I got one more year before I expire.
In our culture, But no, I think it's women, man, 100%, because of the age, what they have to go through. And let's be honest, some men out there, they play games and all that, which I don't believe. I think it's the biggest haram. And same thing with the girls; they also play games too. So that's another slur for another day. That's relationship talk. That should have its own segment. But women all day. Own series. Yeah, you can go get scholars. This guy, motivational speakers, you name it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna agree with Ibrahim as well. I think that women for sure have it harder. I can go out, and I'm just thinking about our own household. I can go out, and as long as I don't do nothing haram, I can go out and be and do whatever it is that I want to do. She could not have said the same growing up. And just off of that, it's just to give you an example. And we were an open-minded family, you know what I'm saying? So, and that could tell you, like, just about, like, like I said, as long as it's not haram, right? So we have to worry about religion. They have to worry about religion and culture.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And even, like, I
and
feel
culture is sometimes worse. Like, I mean, because religion,
culture
like, you want to be,
100% worse.
Yeah, religion,
Yeah.
you want to
But
stick
I
with the
really-
religion for your own good sake.
Religion is how we end up defending ourselves.
Yeah.
But you know what
We're
it
all
is?
getting louder here.
I know. No, you know what I think it is, honestly, too, because I grew up with boys. Okay,
Yeah.
I had my 3 uncles and my 3 brothers that were on my head 24/7, and it wasn't because of like they thought I was gonna do something or whatever.
Yeah.
They were afraid. I was sheltered. They didn't want anything to happen to me because they knew what was happening. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So it's like I feel like it came from just like worrying about like they don't want no one to even like
But wallah,
you know.
how sad.
Yeah.
How sad is it that me and my brother go to Arabic school? We both have to wake up at 8 a.m. and we both get $1.50 for lunch, right?
Okay.
Oh, well,
Okay.
yeah.
Right? We all got $1.50.
I don't know where this is going,
We
but
got one
$1.
we got a zatat, a bag of chips, and a juice jug.
Man, we had hot Cheetos and a juice jar.
That Zata never came.
Nope.
That Zata never came.
Not at the Highland store.
Well, you guys are from Hamtramck. Y'all don't got. You don't even have it.
Yeah.
We did
That's
it.
what happened.
We need to have a bakery, by the way. That was something
Yeah.
I
you
was
don't have a
thinking
bakery in Hamtramck?
about.
No, Ruti Max
Stop
now.
playing
Huh? I love
with
Ruti Max.
me.
Oh,
I know.
Ruti Max.
We'll talk
You know
about
what? Ruti Max
They
is.
just opened up Ruti Max
that.
here,
Yeah.
but it's not like, you know.
No.
You know what Ruti
Wait,
Max
Ruti
is.
and
You know what Ruti
Michigan
Max is,
Avenue?
yeah?
No, but no,
I
they have
don't
one
know.
on Hamtramck.
How is that bakery? What?
Oh,
Like,
I have not tried
love
it.
it.
Oh, you gotta try the Yemeni.
They're
Bakery?
from Suria.
Before we continue, we gotta make sure that we got sponsors and we should not throw
yeah.
shout outs out there.
No.
Hold on, we gotta
Their
pause
bread
before we
is
start
really
making-
good. It's like, their bread is like. Remember when we were in Yemen, we would send him to the store
Yeah.
to get that fresh bread, and they have the same fresh bread.
Yeah.
And then you do
We
it.
gotta get it the same
Food,
day. You
yeah.
can't like.
Or
make
it's
sure
like
that they
rock
don't.
hard.
Yeah.
But what were you about to
It's
say?
really
What was it you there, or was you about to say something?
I
We
forgot.
kind of we're kind of going off on the limb right there. But
Like,
before.
everybody's gonna give me on that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you think about that one because I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor before we move on to the last question. And the second sponsor is Leo's Coney Island in Royal Oak, Yemeni owned, great people over there.
Let's go,
Yes.
baby.
There we go. Delicious American style food, known for their conies, fried chicken gyro, breakfast. You know, they have great chili. If you know, Leo's has been around for a very long time, but to me, the best Coney Island, the best Leo's that is the one in Royal Oak. Shout out to Umar al-Halimi and everybody over there. Great people. They always give back as well. Located on 10 South Main Street, Royal Oak, Michigan. Their number is 1248-336-8093. Shout out to Leo's Coney Island in Royal Oak. With all that said, we are now moving on to the last question. First of all, thanks again. I want to say thank you, man. It's been a great conversation. And it basically is people that are watching, and I want you to look at the camera because like I told you, I like to take short clips of videos, and my goal is to take a short clip of your comment
Move
to
the
this
microphone
answer.
cover. You're covering yourself.
Yeah, by the way, your face is being covered. I was going to mention it, but it was already too late into the show, but now we get to kind of see your face a little better.
Awesome.
Yeah, with all that said, with all
They're
that
definitely
said,
gonna know it's him though.
if someone is having a hard time
No, you
following
can still see it, just
following their
sometimes.
dreams, what advice would you give them?
Can you repeat that real quick? Because I was laughing.
If someone is having a hard time
Yeah.
following their dreams, what advice would you give them?
Keep grinding. Consistency. Keep believing in yourself. Pray to God. Ask God for help. Always in all my stuff is always asking God, thanking God. Get people, talk about your dreams sometimes, to people that you love so you can have that hype person and just go for it. You got nothing to lose, honestly. And if you don't, I failed a lot before Halal Food Junkie with other projects that I've done. But I didn't stop. I kept going and I think it was just being consistent. Also having a plan, like, from earlier we were talking about, having a plan, because if having a plan, you can really be strategic in how you want to grow and how you want to do things, inshallah. So,
Inshallah. Abid, I'm going to move on to you. If someone is having a hard time following their dreams, what advice would you give them?
Okay, I saw this quote and I was like, wow, that's so true. A salary is financially structured to be enough for people to forget about their dreams.
Wow.
Right?
That's a wow. I
Right?
need that. I need that. Yeah, that's great.
And I'm like,
Wow.
that is so true.
Swear to God.
Because, you know, you go to school, right? Like, for me, okay? I went to school. I'm a teacher. You know that.
Sorry, I know I'm late, but I had to give you some claps for that.
So you go to school, right? And then I became a teacher, and I started working. And we all know a teacher's salary is not where it's at. But it's enough to live, like, normally.
So you know what
I'm
I felt? I felt like being a teacher, you're in four walls, and you're, I don't know, just for some reason, like, I was always that person, like, hey, I want to explore the world, I want to bubble and just, go crazy.
Definitely.
And you can't do that.
No, you really, I'm not going to lie.
Because you take your job home, you wake up at 8 in the morning, you take it,
It's a lot.
It's the only job that you take home, like, not, a lot of professionals don't take their job home.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
It's like, the more you teach, the more you learn how to, like, not do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, like, when you're, like, a veteran teacher or whatever, the more, like, you learn, like, different ways. And honestly, like, I love the kids. Like, that's that's, like, in my heart. But is it enough? No, it's not. Like, and that's where the dreams, like, you still can follow your dream, even with you working at a, 9 to 5 or whatever, 8 to 3, you can still follow your dreams. You can still do side hustles and still grind and do more. And honestly, there's no age limit. Even if there's people that I know that are, 70 and wrote their first book. And because that was their dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no age limit. Do it for yourself. And don't worry. Like, I know when we need support, but you are your biggest supporter.
Absolutely.
And
I'm the biggest advocate for cut the BS out and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because honestly, wallah, when you finally realize that, and I mean, I want you to talk a little bit about pick a date.
I did. You and you.
I was still.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like pick a date is just it's inspiration to look at. You know what I mean? It's like something that's tangible that you can actually say that this is somebody that's successful that actually did what, like, it's proper of the Yemeni typical girl. She went to school, she got married, she has a son, which is like holy grail. So then she did all of that. She satisfied that world. And then she's a teacher. So then you have a muhtarama job, right? Yeah. But then she did something else, which is her following her creativity, her creative side of her, which is enabling a dream. You know what I mean? Yeah. So alhamdulillah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's absolutely, well, it's an inspiration. I'll tell you that much.
I want to pinpoint on something. I know you said it, but it has nothing to do with like what we're talking. But like having a respectful job, I liked it, and then I also hate it because like even with me with Halal Food Junkie, a lot of times even my father, even people.
I wanted to ask you, how do they feel now?
Oh, way different. Oh,
really?
They love
because like for a Yemeni girl, if you're not a teacher, if you're not a nurse, you can't be anything else. Like, let's be for real. Like, and it's sad that I know so many. It is. Yeah. It's like that's literally the mentality.
Imagine Yemeni being a cop. We can't.
Like, it's not happening.
It's true though. For girls, like as far as I know, they're either nurses or teachers.
It's one or the other. And for the subhanallah, I don't know
social
how.
workers.
Or social
workers.
Or
like something that works in the school, or somebody that works in the hospital.
Office.
Yeah.
But
like if I wanted to open up a restaurant, that was my dream.
No.
From the beginning, like that's my job. Like that's what I really want to do.
It would be talked about, not the way you probably want to.
Like you won't be able to be. You can probably be in the back cooking and stuff like that, but like it won't be under your name. You won't be the one like.
Really, you can't be in the face of the brand.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that have a hard time with.
I mean, you can.
Then you end up being the few people like me that end up having to trailblaze, and then you get ridiculed because you're trailblazing.
Do you think we can change that?
That's what we're doing.
It is. I feel like it is.
This is
like it's different now.
Okay, what we're doing now, and we can attest to this because it's happening. We've seen it with our own eyes. Like literally all of our eyes combined, we've seen a 6 eyes over and over and over. We're bringing girls and they're talking about their stories and their dreams and their aspirations. We're doing big things now.
And they're girls that have never been like, in the public eye.
Every single girl, I want to say except for maybe one or two that we've had that have... nobody else have been in the public eye, like at all, period. So this is crazy what we're doing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like we're shifting the narrative, we're shifting the focus on showing people like it's okay not to be your typical shpickable.
Like we're human, man. We're here, we're here to support one another. We're here to make each other better. We're here to make each other's dreams happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not downplay no one. Everyone's important, and everybody has a vision that they want to come to life.
Yeah.
So was that your quote, or did you end up getting into your quote, Shema? I don't know if you. I mean, not quote, but the answer. Did you end up getting into?
Oh, okay. No, for my final words, I wanted to say 3 things.
Yeah.
And when I was prepping for this talk, I actually sat down with my sister and I asked her, I said, do you remember that thing that I used to tell you? Because my sister's a very, very shy girl. She doesn't really, like she has a hard time even ordering pizza. Like talking to the pizza man. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I get food right and it's not good, I will never tell them it's not good.
Oh, see, I'm not.
I'll never return. I cannot. Oh my God, kill me! No.
No.
I don't return stuff.
Like
I can't.
No, I'll tell the owner. I'll talk to him. Like if I go to a place and I have 5 items and I like 2 out of the 5, I'm only posting 2 out of that 5.
And letting him know.
And I'm telling him, like, hey, this is not. But it's, like you will never say it out. Like everything. Like I wouldn't even say like, oh, it's like really bad. What? No, I would tell him it's bad, but like the thing is with me, this is how I think of it. You got people having jobs, they're bus boys, dishwashers, they have families. You're causing you're kind of like, what's the word? I'm exhausted. I've been up since 7.
Yeah, I mean, I can see you're just being.
Their resident is getting affected because of this is
you're ruining their
but no one thinks like that. That's the problem because you're not living in their shoes.
Right.
So that's another thing that I've been trying to do lately, and just even with halal food is like always put yourself in other people's shoes. What are they going through? Do you know what they're going through? So always be kind, and that's to all influencers. Inshallah, one day if they watch this, is to give everyone try to give everyone time and day. Don't ever think that you're better than anyone. That's one thing. That's one thing that I always try to pinpoint on HFJ and Halal Food Junkie is nobody's better than anybody. I don't care who it is. You are just like another person. We are all one, and that's one of my things. We are all one. Dearborn is one community. All throughout the world is we need to treat everyone equally. Race, different countries, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Growing up, and I'm gonna be straight up. It was always the Yemeni Lebanese thing. You know,
let's talk about that on another show.
Yeah, that's another show for another day. But that's another elephant. But what I'm trying to say is, and that's another thing too with HFJ. What I try to do is I try to go to different culture, nationalities, restaurants. I do give a lot of love to the Yemenis, a lot.
Say Yemeni one more time.
Yemeni. Woo, let's go. All right. But yeah, I want to showcase different cultures and stuff like that because it's not only and I get sometimes messages from people saying, hey, why don't you go to this? There isn't that many here in Michigan, like from different cultures, but we're trying. We out here, we grinding.
Exactly. Shayma, did you want to close this out? What's
Final words. Okay. First things first is it only takes 15 seconds of complete bravery to instill something in your life. It just takes 15 seconds for you to actually do it. That's literally it. 15 seconds. That's you pee longer than 15 seconds. Let's be real. That's number 1. Number 2, think about the 3. Remember Kiki's 3 C's, which is courage, consistency, and character. Yeah. And then we talked about staying in our own lane and basically giving our own love and pouring into our own lane, and that is also how we're working on ourselves. Because if you're somebody like me and you don't really know what your dream really is, stay in your lane, focus on yourself, build to the best version of yourself, and I guarantee you'll start to learn the things that you are ambition about, or your aspirations, or your ideas. They will grow. So just take it from there. 15 seconds of bravery, stick to your 3 C's, and stay in your lane.
This whole topic definitely deserves a clap as well as that I appreciate, again, I really do appreciate you, Ibrahim, Halal Food Junkie. I don't know if you want to give a shout out to your socials.
Let's go! Come on, Abe, do it for Divine.
Let's go, baby. Last thing, if you guys have any questions, want to message me, if you guys need anything, alhamdulillah, with the connections I made, you guys need opportunities. I also like to, this is like behind the scenes, nobody really knows this, but I like to help out younger individuals, the youth members that are in college struggling or need someone to talk to. It's either can be a doctor, a pharmacist, engineer, teacher, lawyer, any type of professional that you need to connect to that's already in the field doing it and that you're already studying to become that into that field. I will connect you with that person, inshallah. That's behind the scenes. I would love to do that. Message me, let me know. And last thing, I love you guys. I appreciate all the support, and wow.
How can they get to you, by the way, if they want to reach you? Is it through Instagram?
Instagram, yes. Halal Food Junkie.
All right, there we go. And just want to quickly say shout out to the sponsors, the Balkan House in Leo's Coney Island, Royal Oak. You can watch this show again on YouTube's Oz Media 313 page. And then you can also listen to the show on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. On Instagram, we are Motivate Me 313, as well as Facebook for this show specifically. And so again, thank you for watching. You guys got any final words, Shay?
I want to know how you're not like overweight with all the food that you eat.
Oh, we already talked about it. You want to know? I'll tell you guys the secret. I'll tell you the secret.
Oh, we're gonna get the Alpha Show.
We gotta do that.
All right, Alpha
Show.
Yeah, you're gonna have to message him for that secret. All right.
Peace out, guys.
There you go. Have a great one.
Change.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Be